The last city has always been a place of refuge. For centuries, the vulnerable have found shelter and security under the watchful eye of the traveler. Now, it seems that includes Fallen. Once they sieged our walls, and now Ikora Ray throws open the gates. A charitable act from a compassionate leader. But is it the right thing to do? Can we really spare the energy and resources to shelter our enemies while we are under Vex attack? Can we afford to extend a peaceful hand to those who might bite it? As leader of the future war cult, I have foreseen violence and strife within our walls. This is not the first time. I warned you all of Gaul before the Red Legion took our city during the Red War. I am warning you again now. Are these newcomers the cause of our visions? That we do not yet know. What we do know is that the Vanguard owes the people an honest and transparent explanation. The information you glean here could be the key to victory over the Vex and the Fallen. Humanity is behind you. You did well, Guardian, but I still do not trust these Fallen methods. We could do this on our own.
Reading with fear and mistrust. Aramis tried this on Europa. It was her unmaking.
Is it wrong to mistrust those who have hunted, raided, and murdered us for centuries? I think not.
So said Aramis. Mithrax will help, as long as help is wanted.
Hopefully we can end this threat before Lakshmi whips the city into a violent frenzy. The latest reports...
Spying on the people of the last city?
People of the last city. We are governed by a consensus. A democracy where the people have a say over what happens in their city. Or so we thought. But did you agree to shelter a mob of dangerous Fallen? The same Fallen that spent a century stealing from us, besieging our city, and destroying our families. Did you agree to suddenly forgive and forget? No. Ikora Ray decided, without the people's consent, to allow house light inside our walls. These are not the actions of a democratic leader. She claims that this Mithrax can end the Vex curse. Then why has he not done so? Perhaps because he has no such power. Or perhaps because he's simply biding his time. I have gazed into the future using Vex technology and have seen only a strife and conflict with the Fallen. Unless we change course immediately, bloodshed is inevitable.
You see what was done. Our ether tanks smashed. Our supplies stolen. Our home defaced.
I cannot find any witnesses.
This is not surprising. The locals have been under enormous pressure. You're lucky it was not worse.
This destruction helps no one but the Vex. Please, instead of teaching your people to fear us, tell them the truth.
The truth is that your kind has preyed upon us for as long as we can remember. There's nothing I can say that will make them forget.
House Light has never raised arms against humanity.
Your houses and titles are layers of politics. You're still Fallen.
You promised us your protection.
And you've had it. We allowed your brood to squat and chitter here in our city. But still, the Vex simulation persists. If you're displeased with how you have been treated for your failure, then I suggest you camp elsewhere.
Your people destroyed what little we possessed. Now we have nothing. Nowhere to go.
Humanity faced a challenge like that once. We banded together and built a city with walls to keep our enemies outside, where they belong. People of the last city, the Vanguard protects us from enemies outside our walls. But did you know they also protect us from information? Did you know that the Fallen unleashed the Vex on Europa? That they corrupt our Guardians with the poison gift of stasis, tempting them to wield the darkness. These same Fallen are now inside our city, at the invitation of the Vanguard. Ikora Rain knows all this, and more. Her hidden spies report as much. Yet she continues to support these false alliances over her own people. Whether her lies are born of malice or incompetence matters not. What matters is that I have gazed into the future and foreseen bodies in our streets. Make no mistake. An invasion is coming. And if we are to triumph, we must first take back our city.
Remember, Guardian, just because a Fallen helped us access this network, that doesn't make them our allies. In the end, humanity can rely only on itself. This mission has been a success, due in no small part to Mithrax. But never forget that he is the exception, not the rule. Most of the Fallen are monsters. Guardians have even seen them eat humans. Is this not true, Saint 14?
It's true. I've seen the Fallen do this and more. But many things were different back then.
I'm happy to see this partnership working out, Guardian. It looks like the House of Light is pulling its weight.
This victory is not without cost. How do you think the people of the last city feel, hearing you praise their enemies? Your shipwright, Miss Holiday, for instance. Do you think she'll forgive as easily as you?
Mind your words carefully. Do not presume to speak for me or for Amanda.
I speak for the people of the last city. They've not forgotten all the misery the Fallen have caused us, even if you have.
I do not understand these Splicer techniques, but I confess they seem to work.
I'm sure the Guardian could have achieved their aim without help from the Fallen.
Perhaps, but we do need all the help we can get.
The Guardian learns to splice into the Vex mind. Learns to make data a weapon.
Manipulation, infiltration. These are the only skills the Fallen have to share. No wonder so many are criminals.
When Elixni are hunted, survival becomes a crime. House of Light wishes only peace.
You're just like the Spider. Making peace with one hand and stealing with the other 3.
You call Spider thief, but your future power was stolen from the Vex. Spider is criminal, but he is no hypocrite.
People of the last city, I come to you with an emergency announcement. One that Vanguard leadership wishes to keep from you. Future War Court has learned from Guardian sources that the endless night is the work of the hive god of deceit, Savathun. This is a grave development, but we cannot give in to despair. Instead, let it propel us to action. We must demand accountability from Vanguard leadership. We cannot allow Zavala and Ikora Rain to sell our city to the Fallen. Why?
Enough! This is Ikora Rey. I will not stand by while this hateful rhetoric goes unchallenged.
The Fallen may help us gain access to the Vex network, but that doesn't make them our allies. You're a human first, Guardian. Never forget it. Aquaria's presence proves that we can't trust anyone. Not even our own vanguard. And especially not the Fallen invaders.
The Vex are weakening. Your attacks are taking a toll.
With the Witch Queen in hiding, now is not the time to trust new acquaintances.
Do not trust Mithrax. Trust the great machine. Its power flows through the Guardian.
Impressive work, Guardian, but beware the influence of Sabathun. Those who wield the darkness are no doubt more susceptible to her machinations.
Darkness in hand and darkness in heart are not the same. True valor cannot be turned.
You worship the Traveler, but condone the use of darkness. How very convenient.
Great houses destroyed. Made refugees in a foreign land. Nothing is convenient for Elixni.
The Vanguard have turned their backs on the light, and now openly wield the darkness. They force you to shelter a horde of Fallen, led by a fugitive with ties to the Vex. And finally, they try to cover up Sabathun's involvement in it all. Ikora Rey claimed that the Fallen could stop the endless night. But on the contrary, they have only made things worse. It's even possible that the Witch Queen walks among them. Unfortunately, the card